like to welcome all of the veterans who came to speak to you today. So can we give them a nice round of applause? And gentlemen, to get started, the boys and girls have a few songs they'd like to sing tonight. So second grade, stand, please.
You met all these gentlemen up here, I assume? Huh? These gentlemen here represent the millions and millions of servicemen and women who have defended our country and have kept you and us free. And for that, we're thankful, aren't we? Sure. And this month, actually next Monday, we celebrate what? Veterans Day, that's right, that's right. And so what I wanted to do today is talk a little bit about Windber Veterans Park, and then we're going to have a demonstration of folding the flag, talk a little bit about the flag etiquette, proper way of handling the flag, and then we're going to have a real treat. We have one of our musicians, he's going to play some bugle notes for us. That was a real hit last year. So, I'm looking forward. Who knows where that is? Who doesn't know where that is? Okay. Monday, I expect to see everybody down at Veterans Park. Why? Because there's going to be a parade. Yeah. And it's going to be right here at Veterans Park. We're going to see the flags. What are these right here? The bricks. Next slide. It has the bricks have the names of our veterans. Who has a relative that's a veteran? Look at this. All those relatives, veteran relatives. When you go down to the park on Monday, you look for your relative's name on one of these bricks. Okay? If you can't find it, you see this guy right here. You tell your mom and dad to see this guy right here. He'll be there, and we can get one of those bricks put into the base of the wall. That's Veterans Park with your relative's name on it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. What is that? That's right. Next slide. Even closer. Look at that. Is that a Navy tank or an Army tank? Oh, you guys are good. It's an Army tank. Next slide. Okay, what are those? They're artillery, that's right. Those are Marine artillery guns. Okay? How is that? Just yell it out if you know.
Anchor!
There you go. Is that an Army anchor or a Navy anchor?
Army!
No, it's a Navy. It's a Navy anchor. Next slide. Okay, and that's a wall, that's an honor wall. That lists all the people who have died in our wars from Windber. That was installed a couple years ago, and that's just an honor to have that wall there. And why do we celebrate Veterans Day? Right there.
Because we're grateful.
Hi guys. I'll tell you a couple things about the flag, okay? And you probably know all about these. You have those small flags, okay? Well, when they have these big flags, there's a certain way to handle them. There's a certain way to fold them and store them. Okay, I'm going to show you how that works, all right? First thing, the flag, it represents what? What's the flag represent? Go ahead, somebody.
United States!
Excellent, okay? So you respect the flag just like you respect the United States, all right? You don't drop it on the ground, okay? You don't just crumple it up and throw it in a closet, okay? You respect it. You display it. What do I mean by display it? Go ahead.
Like put it in a case or keep it
Okay,
somewhere
or put it
safe.
on a flagpole, all right?
Keep it somewhere safe.
Very good. It's always on the very top of the flagpole. If there's other flags, the United States flag is always the very highest, the top. Okay, all the other flags are underneath it, all right? Sometimes you'll hear a flag, they say it's half-mast or half-staff. Whoa, what's that mean? Half? Go ahead.
That somebody might write down who's important.
Okay, that's very true. Now, what do they do with the flag when somebody dies that's important? Go ahead. The flag goes down halfway, and that's called half-staff or half-mast. And the president declares that, the governors declare that, and that's when somebody important dies, okay? Certain days, you'll see the flag at half-mast or half-staff, okay? And those days are listed in here. You're going to get one of these and you can take it home. And they tell you what days that the flag is going to be flown at half-mast or half-staff. When should you display the flag? Go ahead.
As soon as you get it.
Okay. Somebody else? Yeah.
Always.
Very good. Anytime. You can display the flag anytime, and that's good. But there's certain days that they say that it's important to have the flag displayed. And again, that's in here. Okay? Tell me one day that you should display the flag.
On Veterans.
Very good. Veterans Day, okay? And there's Flag Day and Christmas and most of the holidays, you should display the flag, all right? When the flag is all tattered and worn because it's been up there for a long time, oh, by the way, when the flag is displayed, at nighttime you should take it down, or you should have a light on it. The flag should never be displayed at night without a light. But when the flag is up there for a long time, it gets worn and tattered. So what do you do with it?
Take it down.
Okay, you take it down and you want to dispose of it. There's a right way and a wrong way to dispose of the flag. The VFW has a box that if you have old flags, you can put it in, and they have a ceremony to dispose of flags. We burn them. All right? You don't throw them in the garbage. You burn the flag. Because again, that's representing the United States, and that's respectful. To show your respect when the flag is in parade coming down, okay? What do? You do the same thing that you do in the Pledge of Allegiance. What do you do when the flag goes past you? Go ahead.
You do this.
Exactly, exactly. You put your hand over your heart, okay? And if you're in the military, okay, you salute. You salute. Whether you're in uniform or not, you salute if you're in the military. Most of us, when a veteran dies, they have a ceremony and the flag is presented. Okay, it covers the coffin, and then we fold the flag. All right, and that's how you should store the flag, folded like this. All right, I'm going to show you how to fold the flag. All right, this again, the flag, you have to respect it. Okay, that's a symbol of our country. We respect our country. All right, I'm going to show you how to fold the flag to get it like this. When the coffin is presented, okay, the flag covering the coffin, and we fold the flag and present it to the widow or the loved one, the next of kin. All right, I'm going to show you how to fold the flag. You start. It looks like a triangle, all right? And they say that that represents the original hat that the colonials wore. All right, you fold it from one end to the other, make these triangles, make it nice and tight. You always start at the red. They have 13 red stripes and 13 white stripes. What do you think they what's the 13 represent? Go ahead.
I think it represents army people.
Almost. Anybody else? Go ahead. The original colonies, the original colonies, okay? And then the stars represent, what's the stars represent? Go ahead. All the states, yeah. How many? Go ahead. Very good, very good. All right. Okay, we continue. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. And see, it looks like a triangle. When the flag goes by, what are you gonna do? Very good, very good. It shows the respect, okay? And the flag represents our country, and we respect our country.
My name is Walt McClellan. I'm from the Davidsville area, and I served in the Navy in Vietnam for 4 years, from 1967 to 1970. But when I got out, a few years later, then I got back in the Army National Guard and stayed there 29 years till I retired. Well, it means a lot to me, and it means, I've found in the past, it means a lot to the kids. They need to know some of the things that have gone on in the past in relationship to conflicts, wars, or whatever, because it'll affect them in the future and affected us when these things happened. World War I, World War II, and of course people died, and that's not a good thing, but they say freedom isn't free. I was a musician in the Navy. They have musicians because they use music in the military all the time. In the Army, and the Air Force, and the Navy, and the Coast Guard, they all use music to do many things by, especially march to. And of course now, I'm going to show you this. This is old, but this is what? A phone. A phone, cell phone. Okay, this is communication. You can call, if you have one, but it's kept in your locker array, okay, you could call home and have your parents come pick you up or whatever, okay? Of course, there was a regular phone. It's all communication. And in the military, from even Iraq back on through Afghanistan, there was some sort of communication. But as you go farther back, like in Vietnam and Korea and World War II, the communication was rather, it wasn't real good. They had, go ahead.
They use like some kind of weird walkie-talkie or something.
Yeah, I call two-way radios, walkie-talkies, and so on. And I know the one, I was in the National Guard for 29 years, and I retired in '07. Of course, we used to do some training in that respect, and some of those units, I think if you get a couple miles out of them, that's about it, you know, but they worked, you know. But before that, they didn't have communication other than telling somebody or making a sound or somehow, because we're talking thousands and thousands of troops out there. So what do? You have an instrument that's loud, like a trumpet, and even do some drums and stuff like that. So that was where the bugle came about. And they sat down, General Butterfield, back in the Civil War days, sat down, and they decided to come up with some different types of calls so they could play, and the troops at Gettysburg, let's say, are way down there, but they're going to hear what's being played, and then they'll know what to do. Okay, I'm just going to just name a couple things real quick here. We have reveille, that tells the people when to get up. We have assembly, mess call, drill call, and they're all a little bit different. They're not very long, but enough to tell the troops what's going on. First call, they have a fire call to colors, they have mail call, pay call, swimming call, okay, and and like I said, everyone was different, and one of the things that you had to do when you were in the military, especially your first few years, you had to learn what these calls meant. And this way you could respond to whatever call it was, okay? Of course, this is a trumpet, but you can play bugle calls on trumpet. I don't need to use the valves or anything. But this is an old style bugle, sort of copied off of the French and the British. And there's no valves, but you don't need the valves to play these certain bugle calls. Okay, probably, have any of you ever seen, let's say, war movies, John Wayne, whatever, okay, and they're fighting the Indians or whatever. You know what they call, what you might hear, the bugler's got to tell the rest of the troops what's going on here, so they can go fight whoever. Okay, so the bugler is the one that gets things started. I hope I can do it without, look out. You might recognize it, I think. Charge! Sometimes they use that on football fields or football game at Windber Stadium. They're going to go beat whoever, okay? So you get everybody behind your team and you play charge, okay? And
Yeah, definitely.
and I got, let me see here, I'll get away from my notes here a little bit. There's a lot to understand about bugle, but I'm going to try to condense it if I can. They also, in the Navy especially, used to use flags. Okay, they wanted to communicate with the ships next to them, but the old type of radios they had, they didn't want the bad guys or the Germans or whoever to eavesdrop on their conversations. So when the weather was good, they would have these flags, and they would have a actual letter or whatever for each movement of the flag, so you communicate with a ship across the way. And if you're too far away, then they had this little mechanism that would flash lights, almost like a decoder or whatever, that would flash at certain times to tell one of your other ships what was going on. So they had that. The bugler didn't work too well out in the water. Okay, or too far away, it wouldn't make it there. And one thing the bugler and the walkie-talkie people and everything in the military had to do, they had to be right with the commander. Because the commander or the captain or whatever he might be is the man that's going to be want to tell the troops what's going on. So then it's up to the guy with the walkie-talkie or the radio to communicate to the other officers what's happening, so that everybody can be ready to go. It's not like you just let me talk to you, because we're talking the size of your whole school plus that. Okay, so they had to have, so the guy had to be there. Well, that was the same with the bugler. The bugler had to be there, and he would play. Taps started out originally were just what they call lights out. Okay, at the end of the day, everybody's done with their duties, whatnot, and it's time for bed. And somehow, eventually, it got transformed into also using it for in the cemetery or for a service like you're going to see on Monday. Little modulation there. But anybody ever hear that? No? Anybody know what it's called? Reveille. That gets the truth. That's sort of what you're going to hear on Monday. Thank you. Did you hear it?
Thank you, Walter. You're welcome.
I say to anyone that I know is prior service or whatever, I say
wonderful
Thank you for
grades,
serving.
looking at the fraternity,
You know, you did something you didn't necessarily have to do, but thank you for serving. Welcome home.